Alright, this video gonna be a quick one, so trust me on that. Last video, not so much quick, ended up being 13 minutes. This one, I promise, is going to be a quick video, real easy. I'm gonna get it done. Alright, so roll the intro, get started, and let's go. Okay, so this video, very interesting. Well, the topic is interesting. We're going to be talking about, or I will be talking about, assisted evolution in coral species being studied by AIMS, which is the Australian Institute of Marine Science. Now, assisted evolution, or AE as they like to call it, involves accelerating the natural growth rate in gene flow of a certain species. Now this will allow for a number of upgraded resiliences in a lot of the coral, in a lot of the coral species, or any species that you typically want to test this on. So before I get into my opinion on the topic, I want to break down what exactly AIMS is trying to achieve. Now, with the ocean temperature increasing rapidly, or a lot faster than previous generations, coral species are struggling to survive. And in fact, half of the Great Barrier Reef is now dying. So, what AIMS are trying to achieve in this is that coral species which have the ability to withstand high temperatures or warmer waters, they want to use these genes and essentially spread them throughout the Great Barrier Reef. Now, the main culprit for a lot of the Great Barrier Reef dying is coral bleaching. Now, I'll quickly explain this for those of you who don't understand, but coral bleaching, real simple, is the evacuation of symbiotic algae or zooxanthellae from the coral species, leaving behind a white skeleton. Not a great look on a reef. When you explain to someone what a coral reef is, first thing, colourful, teeming with life. Not a barren wasteland of just white, dead corals. This is what AIMS is trying to prevent. So AIMS is attempting to use a process known as epigenetic evolution. Now, this is the influence of non-genetic material on gene flow. This will allow coral to rapidly adapt to an already rapidly changing environment. Now, to do this, AIMS have come up with 6 assisted evolution processes, which I have here. So, these processes are as follows. First being stress conditioning, and that means to expose these coral species to sublethal temperatures to enhance the tolerance of future generations. The second being assisted gene flow. Now this is to increase spread of naturally warm adapted genes across a coral reef. Third is hybridization, and this is essentially where the egg and the sperm of 2 completely different species fertilize one another and produce viable young. Third being modification of algal symbiote communities, and AIMS are using or are testing the use of probiotics to increase heat tolerance. Fourth, the manipulation of other microbes, same one as before, the use of probiotics. And lastly, study of past research within assisted evolution. I don't need to explain that one. So, because I'm so kind, and you can quote me on that, I'm going to basically narrow down those 6 into one simple term. Genetically modified coral, or GMC as I like to call it, trademarked, GMCTM, yeah. use that and you owe me 5 cents and a high five. Now this isn't necessarily a bad thing. There's been a lot of strife for genetically modified organisms in the past. However, if this is successful, and AIMS believe it will be successful, they could fix a dying reef. My problem here is, what are the long-term effects on the food web in the Great Barrier Reef if we introduce a basically superior version of the coral that's already there? I also want to know that if the AIMS replaces coral species that are genetically modified, or I guess you could say are like a superior soldier, then over a period of time, won't that basically alter an ecosystem? Like, I'm probably being ignorant here because I'm not very diverse in genetic biology, but or genetic evolution, but it just seems it's a good idea and not so much a great idea. Because yes, you're helping an environment that's dying, or an ecosystem that's dying, but if we put a bunch of super soldiers in one area, are they going to outcompete other species? Are we going to see more resource partitioning? As in, are we going to see more species inclined to eat these super soldiers of coral species than normal species? These are my questions that I think requires some answers. So that brings into theory of relativity, that you remove something, something is going to take its place. That's balance. We need balance in an environment if we're going to survive. I don't know. It hasn't been put into place as of yet, but they are pretty close. So best thing we can do is wait and see what's going to happen, and essentially wait for the results. I'm keen to see what's going to happen because it sounds very, very interesting. Assisted evolution, and I believe it'll help the ecosystem, but I'm not quite sure about the long-term effects. So before I finish this video, I want to leave you with one quote by the man himself, David Attenborough, and he says, "The Garden of Eden is no more. We have changed the world so much that scientists have stated a new geological age, the Anthropocene, or the age of humans." With that being said, I'm going to end off this video right now. Be sure to like, comment and subscribe to the channel. We're almost at 100 of you beautiful people. Be sure to educate and don't eradicate. Make sure you click on Cape Clasp link down below. I'll chuck in their Instagram as well as their Facebook and their website page. Awesome people, awesome company, and I will see you guys in the next video. Oh, be sure to click on the video link as well. Check that last video out that I made. See you guys in the next video. Bye. Say goodbye, Simba. Say goodbye. He says goodbye in his own language. Bye bye.